Hello and welcome to Talking About Metro Exodus. I'm Talbot Dream, and this is my discussion on the controversy surrounding the game so far. So if you're not aware, this is basically a game which has been available for sale in terms of pre-orders on the Steam store for around a year now. So I was very much anticipating this game, really looking forward to it, really excited, still am for the game, but unfortunately I'm not going to be able to purchase it on Steam now, and that is where the issue comes. So basically Deep Silver, the basic publisher for the game, has basically had a business deal with the Epic Game Store. So basically Epic, the company that owns the store, is given a bunch of money to Deep Silver. Clearly they have, to allow a 1-year exclusivity deal on the Epic Store platform. So Metro Exodus will no longer be available to pre-order on Steam, but a good thing, at least Steam is allowing this, and obviously fought for this. If you pre-ordered beforehand, before this was taken from the store, you'll still be entitled to the Steam edition of the game. So great for anyone that has pre-ordered the game beforehand. So fantastic. That's good news for the gamer, and I'm glad Steam clearly fought for that and respected that, because at the end of the day this is just a bad business practice, and this is clearly not going to help anyone other than the publisher of the Metro games, being Deep Silver. They clearly took a lot of money to justify why they've removed this from the Steam store for a 1-year exclusivity deal. This is clearly a tactic to force people, to basically choke people into giving up on the Steam edition and moving over to the Epic Game Store edition to play the game. And some people have suggested, well, this is basically better for the developers, better for the publisher, because they'll only be losing about 12% cut instead of 30% cut when it comes to the Epic Game Store. So yes, fair enough, that's fine, but does it really matter when there is going to be a much smaller player base on the Epic Store than there is on the Steam Store? So really, are you actually going to be making any profit from the game? Honestly, I don't think that's going to be the case. Not everyone is going to move from their Steam library to the Epic Store to just play one game. It's not going to happen. I've had a Epic account for a while now just to play Fortnite, and I've played a few games and then uninstalled it. Not really my type of game, not really something I'm interested in. And honestly, if you're not aware, the Epic company is owned by, I think 40% owned by a Chinese company. I can't think of the name right now off the top of my head, but they're a company that is very much, a little cringy. They are definitely checking up on data and actually spying on people, and honestly I don't really like that. I don't really consider that being an exciting thing to get an Epic account for. Not really something I'm interested in. And yeah, these guys have clearly put a bunch of money into Epic, and Epic have used that money to basically get exclusivity on this particular title. I don't mind having another launcher, it's fine. It's the problem with the company I have right now. Epic, it's clearly a company which is just out to grab any game they can on their store to try and compete with Steam. And competition is great, competition's fantastic, and it's gonna definitely drive Steam to improve upon quality in terms of just some trash does end up on Steam, and that's understandable, and maybe that'll improve in the future and it will force Steam to be better with pricing as well, because honestly a lot of games are quite expensive on Steam now, and a lot of people do tend to go to Green Man Gaming and other such websites to get cheaper deals. And I really recommend Green Man Gaming, actually. It's where I got my Resident Evil key, and it's also a company which basically gets the codes from the developers themselves, so it's a legitimate way to support the devs and also get a cheaper deal. So you know, that's just the way it is. That's how it is. So there is third party key sellers as well. Obviously, Green Man Gaming being one of them. But yeah, I totally understand that. Yes, Steam is quite expensive when it comes to new releases, and they've been very poor in a while now, quite a long time actually, in terms of being competitive in pricing compared to, you know, other store pages. So I understand the competition there in terms of driving down prices for games, but I don't agree with the business practice on just, you know, hurting the community. This is clearly something a lot of people already have the first two games on Steam. And, you know, do a lot of people really want to have a third game on a different launcher just to play the game? I don't think they do. And honestly, I don't either. But for me, it's just personally the company behind Epic which terrifies me. It's something I don't want to get involved with and don't want to continue in using. Like I say, the only thing I used it for was Fortnite, so not really something I'm interested in. And yeah, I'll wait for Metro in a year's time. I don't mind waiting for the game, but it's the fact that it was 2 weeks away from release that it's really frustrated me, because I was really excited for this. But clearly now I'm not going to be able to play it unless I purchase it on the Epic Store, which I don't intend to do at all. So clearly a bad issue there. Obviously the developer of 4A Games, a particular developer, basically had a hissy fit in the forum page, basically telling people if they don't purchase the game and boycott the game on PC, then don't expect any future games to be on PC, is basically what I said. And that, in my opinion, that's kind of a threat. That's like saying, if you don't purchase on the Epic Store, then we're not going to make any future games for you guys. You're just going to have to purchase it on the PS4 or the Xbox. And that, in my opinion, that is a threat. That is a direct kind of point finger. If you do not buy on this particular store, you will be punished. You will be punished, you boy. It's basically just a stupid thing to say. This is what a problem I have, is when developers just say the most stupidest things. And obviously 4A Games have come out and apologized about this. I don't think the particular developer has apologized, but the company has apologized, made a statement basically saying, look, the PC is always going to be at the heart of our games. It's the main platform we work on, and it's the platform we will continue to support in future development. So they basically apologized, said, look, we are still going to make games on PC. This is not our fault, guys. It's basically Deep Silver who are the company behind this business decision. We have nothing to do with it. We apologize, and we are basically sorry for the upset. So, you know, I respect 4A Games for at least apologizing for what the particular developer has said, but it's still not gonna, you know, make me want to purchase the game on the Epic Store. It's just not something I intend to do. And yeah, I'm just really disappointed, because I really was looking forward to this game, and I really wish I had a pre-order now, because I would have been able to play it on Steam. But I don't tend to pre-order games unless I'm, you know, guaranteed to purchase them, which I was with Metro, but I tend to just buy it on day one rather than just pre-order, because I don't really like, you know, giving money to a company until I'm able to actually interact with that product I've purchased, you know. I don't want to wait a long time. I'm not going to pre-order this like months away and end up losing, what is it, 50, probably 55 quid on the Steam store, which is probably what it was. Yeah, that £55 could go to something else until I can actually purchase the game when it releases, which I usually do anyway. So the fact that this is no longer on Steam until a year from now is unfortunate. It's sad, and this is gonna only hurt, you know, Deep Silver. This is only gonna hurt the developers as well, because at the end of the day, the developers have put a lot of effort and time into creating this game and this series. So in their eyes, it's going to affect them, because if the sales are really poor on the Epic Store, then it's basically just going to be a kick in the teeth to the developers, because Deep Silver are the ones that have clearly took a lot of money here. They must have had a lot of money to justify doing this, because they clearly have already got their money for making a future game. It must have been a hell of a lot of money. So, you know, fair enough. It is the way it is. This is what happens. Business happens. But honestly, Epic, if any of you even listen to this, which I doubt it, make your own games. Get exclusivity deals from day one of a game being developed, or get involved with a game company to bring new games to your store. But don't take a game which has been historically on the Steam store for a long time. It's crazy. I don't really know what to say anymore. It's just unbelievable. And honestly, I think anyone that does boycott this game, fair play. I'll honestly not be purchasing this on the Epic Store. I'll wait until it comes out on Steam. But honestly, if this is not heavily discounted on Steam when it releases a year later than basically anyone that purchased it on the Epic Store, then I'll just refuse to purchase it until it's on a Steam sale. Because honestly, if you're having to wait a whole year later for the title, then it should be discounted. This happened with Tomb Raider, and it was discounted for the player base which didn't get it on Xbox, which is something you should be doing really. If you're going to have an exclusivity deal for a 1 year timed exclusive, then you have to discount the game when the other versions of the game become available a year later. If that doesn't happen, I won't be purchasing until a Steam sale. But hopefully things improve in terms of business practices in future. I doubt it. I'm sure Epic's gonna try and grab as many games as they can on their storefront, and possibly even try to get a full-time exclusivity deal on the game on their store page. If they're gonna do that, then honestly they should be doing it with developers that have only just started making their game, and get exclusivity deals that way. That's how you sort of run a store page. If you want to create some competition, that's how you run a store page. I don't really like exclusivity, but when a company, for example like Sony and Xbox, when they put money into Gears of War, Uncharted, The Last of Us, those sort of companies, that's where it's understandable when a product is only available on that particular system. So I understand that. That's fine. When a company's putting money like that to allow for exclusivity on their system, that's fine. The problem is Epic taking the game 2 weeks prior to release and just basically saying fuck you to everyone. If you don't buy it on our store, then you're not playing it. Simple as. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there, and I've basically said what I wanted to. I don't like it. I don't rate it. I really was looking forward to this game. I'll have to wait a year, but hopefully it just affects some of the sales, and hopefully not a lot of people buy this on the Epic Store that they have to forcefully release it sooner. But Deep Silver's already got the money, so what do they care? They don't care. I think the only people that truly are upset by this is the community, the players, the fans of the series, and it's sad. It's honestly sad. But anyway, thanks for listening, guys, and I'll catch you next time.